HudInfoNews. Information and news for the people. If you're silent, others will speak for you.
Appreciate it, Bill. And by the way, we're here tonight because of you. You had the inspiration and the idea that we come here tonight, and it means a lot. Dr. Javed, thank you very much. My dear friend, who I've now seen twice today, who I met to my dear friend, Dr. Zubair, is in the back of the house. Riaz, thank you very much for your help tonight, which has been immeasurable. And where's Vinny? Vinny's in the back, who's our host tonight, man. Vinny, to you and your family and your team, thank you so much for being here. This is a special moment for me, and I could not agree more with what the freeholder just said. At one level, we're in a good place in this election. The polls look good. We won the primary with a handy margin. All of that is good. I got to tell you something. I don't recall a more treacherous political environment in my life. You go back to times like 1967, 1968, when we had huge divisions in our country. That's the sort of thing that we're dealing with right now. People say, are you in a good place? I said, yeah, I think I'm in a good place, but I also thought Hillary Clinton was going to get elected president and the Brits were going to stay in Europe. So my opinion of the place we're in, frankly, doesn't really matter. And to put this in a clearer, to put it in starker relief, we won about 250,000 votes in the primary, and that was a big win. We think we need over 1.3 million to win the election in November, which means we have to find over 1 million more votes in less than 3.5 months. So that is another way of saying what Bill said. We can't take this for granted. Not $1, not one vote, not one policy idea, big or small. And so we're out there scrapping this thing together, one vote at a time. And Bill also made a point which I want to underscore. It certainly is about winning, but the extent to which we can win and the amount of like-minded brothers and sisters we could bring across the goal line, the finish line. This is a state in crisis. It's 7.5 years of bad leadership. We're going to need all the brothers and sisters we can get at the table, whether it's the freeholder board, whether it's local mayors and council, certainly assembly members and senate members. We need as many like-minded folks with us governing to try to turn the state around as fast as possible. No matter how good we are, we can't do it alone. That makes sense? So the election's on November 7th. Anything you all can do as it relates to raising money, which matters a lot. We're participating in the state's 2-to-1 match, so we're in the public financing program, which means for every dollar we raise, we get $2 matched by the state. Certainly registering, certainly knocking on doors and voting. All of the above matters more than you know. Now, comment, if I may, about the South Asian community. It's a community I spend an enormous amount of time in, and very happily. I was in a mosque earlier today with several of my friends here. I think more Pakistani than not in terms of the folks there. Whether it's in whether it's in business, small business groups, whether it's in mosques, temples, up and down, working the streets in neighborhoods. The South Asian community is exploding in this state. It is one of the fastest growing communities and one of the most important, measured by almost any way you want to measure it. The increase in its voting bloc, the participation, as Bill said, in the small business sector, a sector that's been ignored by Governor Christie and Lieutenant Governor Guadagno. They've literally focused all their affection on the big companies, and all they do is talk about tax breaks with them. They've done nothing for the small business community. So whether it's culture, politics, commerce, education, community, the South Asian community is one of the most important in this state. And you see that. The other great thing is you don't see it just in Jersey City, or just in Edison, or just in, you name it, Patterson. You see it all over the state. And that makes it an even stronger, more consequential community in our state. And as Bill also said, these are tough times. We've got an us versus them governor, and we now have an us versus them president. And he has a particular problem, whether it's immigration, whether it's basic human rights, flat out discrimination of whole religions, or keeping people from 6 or 7 countries out of our country, closing our immigration door. So I would also make the argument that we need governors more than ever before who are prepared to stand up to this president, who are prepared to stand up to the Republican Congress, whether it's immigration, whether it's deportation, and saying, listen, Mr. President, we will not allow you to use our state and local police in the state of New Jersey to unlawfully stop and frisk our citizens, or to threaten or ultimately deport families and break them up, or use DACA data against dreamers. We will not allow you to do that in our state. Healthcare is a big, you know how big the debate is on healthcare right now. They want to take it away from us. That would be a devastating impact in this state, in this county. And so to the tax plan that the president and the Republicans in Congress have put out, that would be a huge blow to New Jersey. So those are things that all the while we're trying to get New Jersey back up on its feet and recover from the Christie Guadagno years, we're going to have to be batting back stuff that's coming at us from Donald Trump and the Republicans in Congress. And for all the above reasons, governors will have never mattered more. We need a governor with a steel backbone who will stand up on behalf of not just some of us in this state, but all 9 million of us. And if I'm fortunate enough with your help to get there, I will be that governor. One last comment that's specific to Hudson County, although not just Hudson County. It certainly is a state matter where you need a governor to lead, but it's also a federal matter where you need Congress and the president to help, and that's infrastructure and the ability to commute and get around this county and get around between this county and under or over the Hudson River to New York City or to other counties in the state. And so we need a governor who puts infrastructure at the front of the agenda, that understands the impact of rail, commuter rail, and how that impacts the lives of people and our economy and small businesses, which we already discussed. So this is a huge failing. We're the fourth smallest state geographically in the country. We're the densest state in the country. We sit beside the largest market in the world in New York City, and yet we have a governor who's turned his back on commuter rail. And so I also want to tell you on that one in particular, I will be the governor that works with you and gets the investments, whether it's the federal government's money or the state's money or the Port Authority, to invest in rails, bridges, roads, tunnels, and ports, all of which will make all of our lives better. I'm incredibly honored to be here tonight. I want to make sure you know a couple of my colleagues. Chuck Hinton's on my left. Al Alvarez, who many of you know, is with us and is one of our important South Asian outreach persons, and Dini Ajmani, right beside him, works alongside Al, and they are two terrific colleagues, and I encourage you to make sure that we know how to find you. They can answer all your questions about whether it's raising money, about policy, about voting registration, about any of our Get Out the Vote activities that we'll be pursuing over the next several months. They can answer all your questions. Again, I want to thank our host, Dr. Freeholder, Riaz, Vinny, for hosting us. Thank you all so much for your support, your friendship, for being here tonight. It means more than you know. God bless y'all.
I just want to thank everybody for coming over here. I know the trains are running late, and we as
Trains running late?
Yeah, it's always. The path is, we call path as a pathetic attempt in transporting humans.
Yeah.
So I just want to, recognize some more people here. Imam Wali is here. Imam Wali runs a mosque in MLK. Yeah. Okay. And so he's there every day in MLK, and he has done a lot to the community than he's a perfect example that left hand doesn't know what right hand gives and takes. And he's a perfect example for that. And I just want to recognize him today because of him, we were able to, contribute a lot in the community in MLK Drive. And he's a very, very important, component in our community, particularly to help the people who really deserve help. He's one of them. And I also want to, recognize many people. There's a Sunil from the Sikh caucus is there, and Vaibhav is there. And a lot of people are here. And more important for us is what we are facing is the transportation issue, particularly from Jersey City to New York City. In this day and age, maybe Ambassador would have noticed that buses are becoming boats and floating into the river in Amsterdam and stuff like that. We should commoditize the river ride across the state to New York City. That's very, very important for us. And without any investment, and we can just get this done, and we can commoditize that. Today we are paying $8-9 per ride, which is not fair for, we should, the moment we do that, it will be much, much easier for us to go around to New York City and get back. I just want to thank all of you here, and the people here are from the streets, and Imtiaz is here, and he knows also about that. And we know we are the merchants and the professionals, and we know what's going on in the streets, and we have a much, much better reach for his team, and we can always work on the issues. And I just want to tell you a very, very important thing about his campaign. We reached out in January, February for a meet and greet, and they gave us that time. In July and June, after the primary, I was surprised that after June, once you get nominated, there's not going to be a free meet and greet. That's my experience in the past. Once someone gets nominated for Democratic Party in New Jersey and Hudson County, if you call for a meet and greet, most of the times, I'm not talking about freeholder over here, and most of the time it's not a free event at all. And he agreed for that, and it is wonderful. That shows a lot about the campaign, the way they are running the campaign, and that's very, very important factor. And hopefully we all will be able to reach out to the people in South Jersey and other places. Like Prasad is here. Where's Prasad? Yeah, Prasad is also here. Oh, I forgot. Swagar Saab is here. He's another very, very important person, and he's a VVIP in Newark Avenue, and so I forgot to, and we have yeah. So we have Vidya from Ghanis community. We work together with the Indian, Pakistanis, Ghanis, and Sikh community. I don't know. We are still waiting for Ankar, right?
Yes.
Okay, we are still waiting. Ankar Saab is going to be here, and hopefully we'll all be here. And we also have John Hanshak is also here, who has been always helping. He's a go-to man for us in the community. Whether it's the garbage or trash or anything we need help, he's a go-to man. He has done. Even though he's not a councillor, he's not an elected official, but he has done a lot. He's done a lot to the community, and we must respect that. And thank you again for all of you to come and feel free to talk to him and tell him about your issues. And there's food. And where is the Sanjay and all chef?
They already came.
Okay.
Hopefully he's cooking.
I must say one thing about Sanjay and Pandit. Where's Pandit? I saw Pandit ji. Okay. So these guys are a phenomenal cooks here. Last time in Ramadan, right? 29 days they served. They cooked 300 meals every day to the fasting inmates in Hudson County. We send phenomenal team they have here. Here is Sanjay They worked overtime in that month, right? I get tears when I speak about them, and it's not an easy job to cook 300 meals every day. And can you know that how difficult to pack every day meals over there, right? So yeah, we did a lot of work over there. Thank you very much for all of you here.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I just want to say to the Imam and others of the Muslim faith, Assalamu alaikum. Number two, we are not charging for this. I'm proud of that. But we will take your money. Number three, we appreciate particularly Chef and you and your colleagues, all that you're doing. And lastly, I will stay a little bit longer. I can't stay too much longer. My team will stay longer. But if you want to take a picture, I'll stand right here. We'll take pictures, and I'm very happy to do that right now, if that's okay. Does that sound all right, Riaz?
Thank you, and thank you very much.
HudInfoNews. Information and news for the people. If you're silent, others will speak for you.